Not sure what this video is going to be about, but there is a storm upon us, and it's having a nice rain right now, and it could be snow later on. So there is the Piscean season that we are heading into, where, you know, it's like the new moon happened, which was conjunct Saturn, technically, even though Saturn was in a later degree. It had conjunct Saturn first and then went into Pisces, and it was new moon there, with the sun at like at 0 degrees. So there's a kickoff with the Piscean season, with Saturn going into Pisces this month. I mean, that's what's really going to be filling up our emotions, I guess, is the simplest way to say. That's going to start, our emotional lives are really going to be a factor. And so, you know, how to navigate that, you know. Luckily, other things will be panning out, but just the sad thing that we can see is how, you know, with the Mars and Gemini that has been squaring Neptune, and it's going to be squaring Neptune for one last time, it's definitely pointing at the toxic gaslighting of the literal gaslighting, the chemical spills that have happened, where it's like the atmosphere and the earth is just being turned into a toxic soup. And that's definitely a Mars square Neptune in any sign. That kind of combination is like, yeah, a laboratory just blows up over there, you know, and spews out all its chemicals. And so that's a very unfortunate side of life, where we have these dangers coming out of just behaving ignorantly. Really, that's where the price we pay for being stupid. And what's something fascinating is that nobody really knows what's going on here. We are told um, by like one squawk box, you know, somebody who manages to take hold of the electrical wires and creates a printing press, say, that is electrified, that could make up a whole bunch of books about what history and how to do math and everything. Just say the education system or anything. Just if it's electrified and you can pump it out, you know, and then you have the TV set, you know, you have your one uh, world squawk box there that says, what's my point? Shit, I hope you were following. It's just, that's where you're getting your sense of, ultimately, creation itself. You know, it's something that you really need to focus out there about how it's all working and how it will definitely work for you. And it's interesting because, yeah, it will work for you in the prison system. It's the same. If you have to obey certain rules. Now, that's opening a whole other can of worms, babe, because in the prison system, they you know, they make you live correctly. But so that's where only that's happening as far as the control systems that we can see that are around here. They're doing things for us, teaching us how to live, whatever. There, that's your punishment. Is everybody's assigned what to do a job that everybody has to do, but not everybody has to do it that week. It's just a few people doing it, and then they alternate. Now you get on trash and they start doing toilets, or doing the windows and sweeping, and every day somebody is assigned something for a week. They do it, and then it changes. And not everybody is working so hard. There's a lot of just laying around. What's wrong with that, you fucking narcissistic fucking psychos that really, we don't see narcissists relaxing very well at all. There's all kinds of philosophy, too, that you can hear that they've made, I think that one of the fucking most erroneous ones to hear is, the devil finds things for idle hands to do. So, might as well cut them off, because anything that goes on from a stationary standpoint, the devil has just taken hold of those sons of bitches. You better just get a machete right now. Anything that comes from, you got up in the morning and started moving, devil took them. I don't know. They're not thinking the elevator is not going all the way to the top of these fucking people. You cannot rely on them. For what? You like the bead of sweat when it's saying you can't rely on them for a bead of sweat in the desert. If it was 120 degrees, then we really needed the moisture. It's kind of saying something, because that is a human quality, and they ain't got it, baby. What else? We can't rely on them. There's all kinds of jokes, right? And they're there. They're there. They are there. There. But when you really need them, what? It's like, me? You. When you really need them, babes, you can be around your, predator narcissist, who's probably a fucking sadomasochistic psycho, niso, right? They're there, and you could be working for them, and it's like, okay, this is a even transaction, reciprocation, it's even. Then, when you have a real need, say, they just want to keep on this level, right? And sometimes they can give you a little more just to keep you on a level. But when you have a real need, you want to advance yourself, and it'd be really great, because then it would help you out. It would really, this is the time. I just got to do it now. You understand? It's like, I really need you. And they're like, nope. And then they just wrap it up. They wrap it up and abandon you, and that's it. Because you had an emotional, finally, it could be after 35 years, you finally plug into them. You finally want to plug into them, and they'll say, finally, nope, no. It could be just that you're playing that game, and they're stringing you along, and it's like, oh, whatever, I'll stay just at this fucking limbo. That's what the gift giver narcissist is up to. And then finally you're like, you know what? How can we adjust this a little bit to where, say, it's the same thing, but let's have it like this, and not your way, and not for the reason that you need it, and especially if it's going to advance you as a person, it's going to bring you up. They aren't up for that. No way. It's especially now, it's called emotional investment. If you show finally, after 35 years, you finally show an emotional investment, that's their plug, that's their time to undermine you. Start undermining. Say, finally, you're relying on, now I can just unravel you, and you don't exist. They would rather, in the jungle, they would rather have just, they would be shish kebabbing you that night.